Hey guys, so today is gonna be a very different video. I've been really wanting to do another video, but I don't know, I just didn't have really good ideas. This video is going to be about like a countdown of the 3 worst bosses that I ever had, like horrible bosses. So I'm gonna save the worst for last. So I'll just get right into it. Number 2, Samantha. So Samantha was like actually super nice when I met her. Like she really wanted to hire me. It was when I used to work at Danier Leather, right at the Eden Center. That store was super important to the company, and so was Yorkdale. I was actually hired at Yorkdale. The store was under renovations for like a really long time, and so I was hired to open when they were gonna open. I worked there for like, I think it was just seasonal. It was like maybe 5 months or something. I can't really remember, but so I was actually like their best CSR, like seasonal person. It was like a lot of people that were hired for seasonal. And I would say that for CSR, I was like one of the best. Maybe there was one other girl that had been working there a little bit longer than me, and she was really good too. But like everyone else did not know what they were doing. Like I have experience in customer service. Like I'm a pretty quick learner. I would say like I'm good at everything. I learned most of the stuff. Like there was a lot of things to learn at that as a like customer service, right? We had to like do a bunch of stuff, like mail things, whatever. Anyways, help with like I was even sent to the offices, and I worked there as well. So like I got to know the company a little bit more than all the other seasonal people, the CSR seasonal. So I would say like out of the seasonal people in CSR, I was like maybe like number 2, yeah. Because I can only really think of one girl that was there a little bit longer than me, and she was also seasonal. Me and her were like the ones that kind of like had all the answers, most of the answers anyways. And like this happened at the beginning, I think it was before Christmas. Like I can't really remember the dates of when I was hired, but I know it was like only seasonal. It was like 4 or 5 months. So basically we had like a sale. The sale was like say 70% off or 50% off all handbags. So it was like a three-day sale. It was probably like the last day of it, and I'm sure I worked because I did usually work like weekends. I think I was doing like calling and just like doing other stuff in the back, because there was a lot of stuff under our job description to do. And so basically like I didn't really have to talk to anyone about the sale. I knew about the sale because everybody knows what's going on, right? So a customer walked in and he asked me, oh, like, are messenger bags included in the handbag sale? And I was like, oh, that's such a good question. You know, I'm gonna like ask somebody because I'm not sure. Sorry. So, you know who else was on cash was like the girl that I said, you know, was just as good as me. I would say like she was like better, you know, like one of the, I remember it was her. She was there, and there was another girl working sales that was full-time. I asked both of them, and they were just like, I'm not even sure. Okay. So they were just like, oh, well, Amanda's in the back. Just, you can ask her real quick, right? So I was like, okay, like, you know, I don't know how it didn't come up in the 3 days of the sale, but anyways, so I go to the back and I just asked Amanda. No, like, no, she had come out. And it was actually right in front of the customer that she did this. I asked her, are the messenger bags included in the handbag sale? And she was like, are you serious? Like, I don't know, like, are messenger bags handbags? And she just did like I could have sworn she called me an idiot. Like, it was just the whole way she talked to me. And I was just like still confused. Like I didn't even know what to say to the customer. I was really embarrassed. I didn't even say anything. I just kind of like left, and the customer was right there. Like I don't even remember. Like I don't think I said anything to him, and he was just like, "Oh, that was really rude." And then she was telling the customer like, "Are you kidding me? Like it's been 3 days. She should know this. Like she should already know. Like how doesn't she know? I'm." It was like telling the customer, you know, it's my fault that she yelled and whatever. And then he was just like, and he left. He didn't buy anything. He was very like that made him so uncomfortable. And then like everything, like I right away, like I just kind of left. I felt like so shitty. I think I just went into like the purse room and then I started crying. I was just like, she's such a bitch. And then like everybody was that came in that told, like, I told, you know, what happened, why I was crying, and they were all like, oh yeah, I know, she's such a bitch. It's like, it's, yeah, like, it's fine, you should know what the sale was. And I was like, literally, I'm like, I asked everybody, nobody even knew, like, why did she snap at me? I asked the girl that was on cash, she was on cash all day too. And then, like, you know, I asked the sales, which sales should really fucking know the price. Well, we should know the price too, but I think she was like having a bad day, but still, like, I don't think you should treat anyone like that. And yeah, so basically she was such a biatch. So yeah, like, basically she was just really, really rude. After that, like, she still tried to, like, you know, be like friendly, but I wasn't about it. Like, I am kind of like that person that once you cross me or my family, it's like over, it's done. Like, I don't fuck with you. She would be like, oh, you know, like, look at what my boyfriend bought me, ha ha ha, you know, whatever, just like strike up conversations. I was like, and then I just went and did something. I was like, I know if I would have been fake, like, she would have kept me on after contract. Near the end of my contract, she would be asking me like, oh, you're gonna have to buy a piece for your, you know, for when you're full time or whatever, like, not like seasonal anymore, right? She's like, oh, are you gonna buy a piece? What are you thinking of buying? And I was like, I don't know, I have to see. Because basically, like, we had a really good discount. It was 70% off, but we had to always be wearing like one thing, like a jacket or whatever, right? Like, or a pants or a shirt. We always had to be wearing one like item that was in season. So like, there was a few staple pieces that were always being sold, and I never bought any of those. Like, for the winter, I bought a fur vest, which I really love and I still have. But yeah, like, I couldn't wear that for the spring season. So they had come out with some cute stuff and I was thinking about buying, but then at the same time I was like, yeah, like, I don't know if I want to stay here. Like, I don't even know. Like, she asked me a few times about like buying my next thing, and I guess, you know, she got the hint that I wasn't super, like, you know, whatever. I was just like, I made my money, you know, in the season and whatever, I'm just gonna look for something else. And so yeah, that's how that job ended. Also, Danier, like, you know, as you may know, it went out of business like a year or two ago. So I actually looked her up, and she works for Primerica. If you don't know what Primerica is, so you can look it up yourself, but it's, a lot of people say it's like a pyramid scheme. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna say, like, maybe this is a trigger warning, but yeah, like, so my third horrible boss was like basically a horrible boss because he was on the verge of, like, you know, sexual harassment, I would say. I don't even really know exactly what to call it, but he was very, very weird and made me very, very uncomfortable. So this was like my last job before my family and I opened a restaurant here in Toronto. So yeah, I used to work at a Tex-Mex restaurant. It was right on Yonge and Wellesley. He was super interested in like hiring me right away. So again, things went by really quickly. Right away, I started doing like training shifts. Anyways, it was like, what do you call that? I forget. But I did like 3 hour like training shifts that I didn't get paid for. All I got was like some food, and he was like, okay, you're good. You're hired. He was fine in the beginning, you know. He just like asked me about me, and I was like, yeah, I have a boyfriend, blah blah blah, like, you know, just everything. Just like asked me about school, whatever. It wasn't really so bad until they closed the restaurant and he moved locations. So he really wanted me to be like his full-time girl there at Danforth location, but I didn't want to go. Like, I was far from me. Basically, when I started working there, it wasn't like 2 servers anymore. It was like a smaller place, so it was just 1 server. And so here I was like by myself instead of working with somebody most nights. And then like he started trying to get like really handsy. Like he never like touched my butt or anything, but he would like every time I, you know, walk past him or like had to go to the kitchen or I was reaching for something, anything, like he would just like, you know, grab my hips, like hold my hips, and I would just like, you know, do whatever I was doing like quick and leave, like, and move out of the way. Like I never really told him like, don't do that, that makes me uncomfortable, which I should have, but I would have probably gotten fired. I just didn't want to lose the job because I made really good tips. Yeah, so basically this friggin' nasty old man, it got just worse, you know. Like first it was like he would just grab my hips and then he would offer me drinks. Like after near like the end of my shift, he'd be like, oh, have a margarita. I'd be like, no, I'm good. He'd be like, oh, what do you want? You know, like he would just encourage me to drink after my shift or near the end of my shift. Like he would just want to get me drunk. So like I said, it got worse. He started like, after he used to, you know, like try to touch my hips and like be handsy. He would offer me drinks. Then after that, like during my shift when it wasn't busy sometimes, and he would want to talk to me, right? Like he would offer me food and I'll like, why wouldn't I take it, right? Like whatever. There was like, it was like I had no option. Like I had to, you know, there was nothing else to do. And I would like have to say, he'd be like, oh, like, you know, have some. And I would just like take some nachos or whatever. And then he would tell me about like a bunch of stuff, like weird like stuff. Like, so he told me how he like experimented with a guy when he was like my age and how I should experiment with a girl. He told me like he wants to have another baby but with a Spanish girl because his wife is boring. Like he told me he has sex with his wife like once a month or once a week. Like he told me that he met a friend that he like wants to get to know more, but they're just friends and like they talk, but he wants to take it to the next level. Like I don't know, just like a lot of things. And I would really try my best to like sway the conversation a different way. I would ask about his daughter because he had a daughter, you know, she was like 5 or something. So yeah, like that's why he's number 1, like the worst boss. I think that's the worst. Like I could deal with, you know, like whatever, bitches and like people being mean to me and people like being fake to me, but yeah, I really didn't know how to handle it. Like he was just, I was really happy when I got to quit. Like I didn't want to. The only reason I really stayed was because when I worked nights, you know, like it would get really busy and I had really good tips. He's offered me to go back to work because he has my number, right? We left it like, you know, like I left on like good terms. I just told him, you know, like whatever. I told him that we were opening a restaurant and everything, and then he was like, oh yeah, like whatever, I'll come by. I was like, please don't. But yeah, like he's offered me to come back to work. He's like, oh, I really need someone on the weekends. Like messaged me probably 3 or 4 times. Like at first I told him I was just busy. And then like months would go by and he would message me again and I just didn't reply anymore. Like I'm not interested in working for him again. He was disgusting. I hope you guys liked this video. I know like I didn't do it on my camera like usually. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah. So yeah, like should I report him? I thought about it, but honestly, yeah, I probably should. Okay, well, thanks for listening. This is my story. Okay, bye.